Here's our saw cut here between our slab. Here's our two nice chunks of fairly new concrete. It's at least 28 days, but we have this void in here. Now, I know a lot of people will want to just go right over the top of this. Sometimes a lot of guys will take their fabric and they'll just put some membrane right across the top like this. They'll put their fabric in, right stretch tight over the top, put their another layer of fabric or membrane on the top, and that's what they do. Good idea? Well, maybe not. So if these two slabs move together, if these move together, you have room. What happens if they move apart? It's just going to tear that fabric. So what do we do in that instance? So in that instance, what we would do is come through here, get some membrane just a little bit down in that groove. Make sure we get enough membrane up on the surface here. We don't want to have that filled up with membrane though. That membrane, if we have that filled up with membrane, some guys will say, I'll just fill it with membrane, that make sure that it's going to move. No, it's just going to shrink and crack in there. So if we have our fabric and we're fabric reinforcing over our seams, the best way, the best practice whenever we have these type of joints in our concrete, saw cuts, cold joints, expansion joints, best practice is to honor them. How do we honor them? We had put our fabric in just like I showed before, but one little catch. We're going to come back through here. We can use our brush, something. We're going to put a divot into that. We're going to pull that fabric into that divot. So now we're going to work this down the rest of the way. That. Now come up nice and close here and take a look here. So see how we have that divot in there? So now, if this slab moves apart and that expansion joint opens up more, now with the divot in the fabric, then that fabric now has room to move and still not break and still keep this, if it's a waterproof, and also allow for movement of a movement joint. When we're done, if we've done it like this, we've really restricted that amount of movement. If it compresses, that's fine. If it comes together, if it expands and that joint opens up, it has no room to go but rip that fabric. So that's how we do fabric reinforced waterproofing. So the single layer without the fabric many times is fine. Sometimes manufacturers will allow you to go over this. They'll allow in different age slabs. Sometimes you fill this with a filling material that they call for, and you can go right over top of it with their membrane, and they will warranty that type of installation. However, many times the best way to honor these type of joints is to have them come all the way through our tile work. Our tile should end on both sides of this with a backer rod to keep it free at the bottom, and that's going to allow that joint to move the best way possible. So that's how we do fabric reinforced waterproofing.